Rutherford, New Jersey. This the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Let's go now. 50, plant.
Watch my forward. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Jones. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
Get the ball. Well, hey, we're going Mike 40, Mike 40. 3 buds.
Now Jones. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
High 7.
Here I come again. Right there. 54. Right there. 54, Mike. I'm coming for
Throwing Jones. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 21.
Watch out. Shoot.
Check.
Watch the creep.
Here's Dalvin Cook, 3rd year back from Florida State. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns.
Here we go.
First.
Check 9. Kill.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Cousins now. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. The loss of 3 on that 1st down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Now the rookie from Boise State, Alexander Madison. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Five in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd.
Push him back.
To throw, Cousins. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the 1st quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Ready, set.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Hey, zoom. Hit it.
Here's Jones, operating from the gun, eluding the pressure right. He completes it to Tate. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Tackle made back at the 39-yard line.
On the ball.
Mike 54. Defense wins championships, baby.
Snap.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jones buying time to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Danielle Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction.
Get it.
From the gun, Jones. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Swing up.
Here's a give to Madison running right.
Switch.
After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Come on, let's go.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
First down, Minnesota.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
A first down throw for Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
And the Vikings first down.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 34. We're scoreless after 1. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. On 3rd down, Cousins. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now. So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. This from 54 yards away. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Come on,
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
55! We don't want this. Check, 55 to Mike. Check.
Now Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. He's going to let one fly for Tate. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And an alley to run. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there out of Cook. 62 yards on the ground. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. They'll run for it with Cook. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
2nd down and goal. Cousins. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the veteran Antoine Bethea.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Hey, 4 down.
Hey, exit. Big grip.
Operating from the gun. Jones. He's going to let this one go deep. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Hey, Alpha.
Looking to throw. Jones. He's going to let one fly for... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. It's a big-time play there for the G-men. 46 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Max 50, Max 50. Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on. Mike's 50, Mike.
Jones going to throw again. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. It's caught. Shepard. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a giant 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jones now operating from the gun. This is Shepard on the catch. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Army.
2nd and 10. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Giants have taken the lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That's good for 28 yards.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
Gun! Hey, echo!
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
Hey, no, easy. Hey, orbit. Check. Gun.
From the gun, here's Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Mike 29. Here we go.
Smooth. Gun.
Mike 300. All day, just like that. Just like that.
To throw again on second down. Cousins. He's got Smith here. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They'll run it. Here's Cook. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
20. Hey, let's get in your home.
Cousins on first down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row, I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Play fake. Cousins. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Giants take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Ready?
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are in the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Now Saquon Barkley. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
First and 10 at the 16-yard line.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Looking to throw. Jones. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. It's a gain of 7 on the ground. 2nd down coming up.
A gain of 7 brings up 2nd down.
So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. On 2nd and 12, Cousins. And Diggs has it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there, first down Vikings.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
They run again on first down. Cook. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5.
Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
A little surprise pays off on 3rd and 1. Pass instead of run. Gets him 15 yards. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
Check. Ready?
Check 55.
Pick me up. Here we go. 48.
Rush in.
Topper.
Tight. He's checking.
Again, it's Cook. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. A gain of 7 might change the thought process here as they have some options on 4th and goal. This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this? Let's try to get it in the end zone.
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should 4th down be any different? True. You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
At the 21-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And he will find his man on the outside. It's a Giant first down on a gain of 16.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
A first down carry for Barkley, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Hey, Haywood. Shoot.
On 2nd and 15 now. Jones steps away to his left. Oh, he'll try and throw it deep to the other side of the field. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Jones throw on target to Shepard. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14. A lot of people thinking that this could be a good year for Sterling Shepard to step out of the shadows of Odell Beckham Jr., but a season ago, pretty good for Sterling Shepard. 66 receptions, 872 yards, and now hoping for a 1,000-yard campaign in 2019. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's the Giants with the football and also the lead as we get set to start quarter number 4. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Here's Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line.
61. Let's get it.
Now Jones to throw again. That's complete to Slayton. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Kirk Cousins last year started all 16 games, but only led the Vikes to just one fourth-quarter comeback like he's trying to do here. And now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On play action, Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I remember throughout my career here, defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. And they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. It's complete to Diggs. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45.
You got tight. You got tight right there.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. But now it's 3rd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And to the 49-yard line, but no further. And obviously, he is well short of the 1st. And that last penalty makes his third down play a little more interesting. 3rd and 5.
Check girls, check girls, check girls.
Cousins now from the 50. It's caught by Treadwell. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Cousins able to connect with Treadwell for a Minnesota first. Here's Madison running on first down. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Under 10, under 10.
Greystone, travel.
Check safety. Jim.
To throw, Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 20-yard line. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Check it back.
Rodrigo, 48. We're going. Let's go.
On 2nd down, this is Madison. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Alexander Madison with his first career NFL touchdown as his guys are back within a single score.
Check the hot read.
Listen to me. Hey, Charlie.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike to 59.
Cousins. And this is caught. They got it. And that could be an important 2 points. It gets them back within a field goal. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Jesus, second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback. Because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd and a yard, Jones toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end, and it's 3rd and short.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Barkley. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Hey, Delta.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
Now Jones. He completes it to Tate. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Let's go. 60 Pittsburgh. Bring it. Hit it.
On 3rd down, Jones. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
And here's a big one now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Jones throwing on 4th down. And he comes back with one complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He connected on his first, this from 41. Marr able to put this one through. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. After the made field goal, Marr back out there to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Cousins. Now a desperation throw. Deep depth. Oh, wide open. Complete. 20. 10. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Gotcha, boy.
Cousins to throw. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man. Complete. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. And he's in for the touchdown. And barring a miracle, the extra point can win this football game.
We all knew the situation. We're in the 4th quarter. Who's going to step up and make the big play? Well, we just saw it, didn't we? Took their shot, downfield, got it, and now they're in a great position to take the lead.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And that might be enough to win them the football game as they now take the lead in the final seconds. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Now on the return. Oh, no, the ball is loose.
Let's go.
And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary, but you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Minnesota, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0, and they will head back.